Just like all my fellow survivors, be it Herman, be it Sherman, be it Dexter, I have become somewhat of a loot goblin myself. Today, this is what I'm going to be showing you, my collection of loot. I finally decided to show my setup, my place where I create all these videos, where I mastermind the stories behind the characters you've come to love over time. Thank you. I'm going to show it to you just as it is. I'm not going to tidy it up. Yeah, you're going to have to see some of my mess. Luckily, it's not actually that messy right now. You know, sometimes I have a bigger mess, other times I have a little bit of a mess. Recently, the setup had to undergo a couple of modifications and a little bit of a freshening up, that being these walls that you see next to me. They are white, just as they were before. So yeah, without further ado, let me show you my $1 billion setup. And I say $1 billion, you'll see why in a minute. But before I do, I want to thank each and every one of you for hitting 5,000 subscribers. At the time of recording this video, it's actually like over 200 more people that have joined the channel since that time. So thank you to all of you. It's not really been that long since we hit the 5,000 mark and it's already growing. So thank you each and every one of you for chilling here. I'm going to use this time to plug our Discord, our community Discord. It's going to be in the description below if you want to be a little bit more active. I try to be as active as I can on there. It's just a community for everyone to hang out and talk about Project Zomboid and other survival things, you know? But yeah, let's get on to it. So the first thing that I see in front of me every time is these monitors, right? I have two monitors set up, kind of what I've had to come to use simply because a lot of the time when I try to record videos, something may go wrong and I can't see what happened. So having OBS open on another monitor, which is the one on my right, to just simply see what's going on and just to see that audio levels are okay, the video footage is recording, has really helped me, you know, not run into those stupid mistakes. On my left is my main monitor. I thought that one of the good upgrades to make first for the channel would be to get a 1440p monitor, which, to be honest, thinking about it in retrospective, I should have just got another 1080p monitor. I don't know, I think 1080p is still completely fine for everyone playing games. It's nice to have the bigger real estate, but I'll be honest with you, it adds a little bit more friction in the editing and the creation part, which for me is, it's not something I like. I like to make sure that the recording process is as friction-free as possible, and the editing process is as friction-free as possible. I lose my attention very quickly when it comes to doing work and stuff, and as soon as I'm getting a little bit of resistance there, I'll try to like open something up or do something else. You know, that's just me, that's the way I've been. It's sucky, I don't want to be like that, but you know, I figured that sometimes it's better to change your environment and the way you do things to accommodate for that than to try and fight against it. So that's why I do it. So yeah, in reality, if I had to buy like more monitors now, I'd just get a high refresh rate 1080p monitor and keep to that. 1080p is completely fine. It's a good thing. I think that as soon as we started going about 4K and all that and gaming with 4K, everyone just focused on graphics rather than substance in the actual game itself anyway. So you know what, 1080p is fine for me. Moving on, my peripherals. This is actually just something I'm terrible with. Peripherals for me are something that I like to change a lot because I like experiencing different switches and stuff. At the moment, I'm rocking a EpoMaker HE68 Lite. It is basically a Wu-Tang clone. The keyboard's functionality is 95% there, if not 100%. It's just the quality isn't the same as a Wu-Tang keyboard. And on the right, I'm currently using a cheap wireless mouse, a Genesis Zircon 500. I believe this is a Polish company, I'm not sure. They do a lot of stuff here. I had their keyboards before. For the budget, they're very good. But I have a drawer of shame, and it contains a lot of mice. I call this my drawer of shame because there's 3 mice in here. Sit there and I swap between them because I have some weird thing in my brain that tells me you have to swap mice now, otherwise you will feel uncomfortable when you work. I don't know what it is. If any of you have this and you have a workaround, please tell me, because I'd love it. But I do the same thing with keyboards. Luckily, I've been able to get rid of my keyboards. The only other one I have left is one that my brother gave me as a gift, which I do not want to get rid of because it has sentimental attachment to it. Now moving on to my mic setup, this is probably the biggest thing I've bought so far for the channel, and it's been fantastic. This thing works like a dream. Impaired with a Focusrite, which is an audio interface for those of you who don't know. Basically all it does is it takes the signal from this guy and puts it into my computer, because this guy is powered by these big cables, as you see over here. This is great, but again, it's a bit overkill. Just like the 1440p monitor. I got it because that's what everyone says, you know, you gotta buy the best stuff, so that's why I bought it. I don't regret it, but if I was to do it again, Elgato looks great. You know, plug and play, you click a button and it works. But to be honest, the audio quality is fantastic from this thing. It just requires a little bit of setup. Behind that is the webcam and the light right next to it. I really am happy. Like, we live in such a weird time of tech with PCs going up so much, but video equipment and that sort of stuff, which used to be so expensive, is really cheap now. I got this really cheap Vigim, I don't know, so cheap light, and it does the job, right? I'm lit up. I might get another one at some point to have like a full face coverage. I don't need it, really. It's fine the way it is. This light was amazing. It works by this remote. I click it, it's on and off. I can change the temperature of it to match the lights, so it's a little bit better. Before, if you wanted to buy something like this, it would be expensive, and you would have to think a lot before making an investment like that. Moving on, I'm gonna get to the PC soon, because obviously that's the biggest part of this setup, and that's what makes it the true $5 trillion setup. I want to move on to other things, gaming-wise, because this is a gaming channel after all, and gaming means a lot to me. And recently, I have been dabbling a lot in my handhelds, which have sat here for the longest time. Recently, I've been playing on this guy. I have been playing God of War Chains of Olympus. That is my first entry into the God of War franchise. I know, I'm so late, but it is a great game. The only thing that gets tiring is the quick time events. You know, they're fun first, but it was an era of gaming which was just littered with quick time events. That's what it is. I have that, and I have a DSi over here. They're both hacked. Don't tell the companies. For these, I have busted out my hackerman abilities, and both of them have installed custom firmware. I felt like a genius when I did that, and it wasn't even that hard. I wanted to get a Steam Deck, but Steam Deck no longer is value for money for me right now. Like, it is too expensive, so I'm going to be looking into Android handheld. They're great as well, plus the new capabilities, you can actually play PC games on them. Fantastic. And quickly, just before I get to the PC, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I want to share a part of me with you here today. I've been getting into a new system to clear my backlog, or to go through a backlog, because I've been experiencing these consoles again. This is from my childhood, but I only got to play a couple of games on it because they were expensive back in the day, and I didn't really know how to get around that back then. So now I get to actually enjoy them. I want to get through a lot of them. So I've copied a system from this YouTuber. I'll throw them up on the screen because I thought it was a really cool system that they had. Basically, it's called the rule of thirds with your media, right? So I have a rule of thirds of playing 3 games right now to get through my backlog. And I have devised them like this. On this, I have God of War. It's flipped, but I have God of War. On the Switch, I have the legendary game, you can't see because it's flipped again, Skyrim. I've been playing Skyrim on this thing. I have to get through that as well. And over here on my desk is a little blue tape with the words Hitman Trilogy. So the World of Assassination Trilogy. Those are the 3 games I'm trying to play right now. Pretty cool way to clear your backlog. I have them in front of me at all times just so I know when I reach for these things, I try to play those games to get through them. And finally, the PC. The thing that kind of started all of this. You see, back some time ago, I tried to give up gaming completely. I had a gaming PC, I hit 20-something years, and I said, you know, it's time to get serious. Gaming's not serious. You know, you gotta get a MacBook, and you gotta do work, and you gotta be professional, and you gotta be on that grind all the time. You know, try and do this, try and do that, try and get a job here, try and do freelance there, all that stuff. I got rid of my PC, and very soon I found myself buying an Xbox Series S, which is on the shelf over there. But I bought an Xbox missing the gaming already, but it wasn't the same as PC gaming. And then after some time passed, a long time, I felt a hole in my life there. Gaming was a big part of my life that giving up like that was not good. You know, I didn't realize how much it meant to me, how much good memories I've made from gaming, and how many enjoyable times I've had. I finally ended up buying this PC, I think it was last year, maybe a little bit longer than that. It's a $1 trillion PC because I got in just before the RAM spikes and the memory spikes. My sticks of RAM, I'm going to say it's in Polish, hopefully I'll calculate it in the video for you. I paid 400 zł for 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. It is currently sitting at 1,700 zł. That exact same kit that I purchased. And looking at the prices now, I'm devastated. Because if anything goes wrong with this thing, I'm gonna cry. So this is my PC. It is rocking a Ryzen 7 7600X. If I get any of this wrong, I will be sad with myself. It has a 9060 XT AMD card, which I've had some issues with, I'll be honest, when it comes to workflows and production, which is the thing people warn you about when you go with AMD. Looking back at it, I'm actually really happy with this card. Even with the issues, I'm happy that I went with AMD. I'm happy I tried it. I would probably get an NVIDIA card next, even though I don't like that company as much as I used to. AMD are much better, let's be honest. Other than that, it also has two M.2s. It has a 500 gigabyte one and a 1 terabyte one. I'd love to upgrade that someday, but not now. Definitely not now. And it's got air cooling. I didn't go with water cooling because I think it's unnecessary, and this works just fine. I get good temps on this thing. And I wanted to really build a small form factor PC when I was doing this, but they're expensive. Smaller components, they get pretty up there when it comes to the price. This thing is as good as I could get it in a small form factor without buying small form factor parts. So yeah, that's the thing that started the journey. You know, I started this channel making Counter-Strike videos and videos on Hitman. I'd love to make a video on Hitman someday again. But it started out as that, and then I made a Project Zomboid video, and you know what happened after that. We're at the point we are in today. Finally, I also have an Xbox Series S, as I mentioned earlier, which I've now turned into an emulation station. That's right, you can do that. I only wanted to mention this because a lot of people don't know this. If you have an Xbox Series S laying around, or an Xbox Series X laying around, or even a Xbox One, I think Xbox One can do this as well. There's a thing called a dev mode on these consoles, and you can activate it through Microsoft. But I've turned it into an emulator, and I can play anything up to like Xbox 360. I'm pretty sure you can even run PS3 on that. But don't quote me on that, but I think you can. You can play Xbox 360 games. I've got it mainly with PS2 games because that's the best console of all time. Now, when it comes to making the videos, let's start with the primitive equipment, the primitive stuff that you need to make videos like this, like Project Zomboid videos. It starts with this. In said notebook, you have notes on things that you're gonna do with the video and the stories around the characters that you play. This is how it all gets started. I like to jot down ideas and things in the notebook, and then I put them into action, and I try to sort of make episodes around it, right? Because my way of recording is I kind of start with a goal in mind, and I have a thing to go towards when I make these videos, and then I kind of let the story play out as it is with that goal in mind. But that's kind of all written in here, right? There's a little bit of a story going on. So let's get onto the desktop to show you kind of what I use. You're going to see a bit of a paradox happening here, but this is OBS. Everyone knows what OBS is at this point. This is how I record. This is how I get the videos out there. I want to show you all of this because I wish a lot more people would show all of this stuff when they do setups, because I'm very interested in this stuff. I don't know how about everyone else, but this is the stuff I use. If you are wondering what sort of filters I use, so I have a gain of 12 dB. These are my equalizer settings. This is my compressor settings. This is that plugin I was talking about. This basically removes a bunch of noise. It's really, really good. Much better than the like built-in RN noise one. And then we have a limiter on it. And then after that, we have the video settings, which I will show you as well. We've got the 1440p, 60, and then recording. These are the settings I use. CQP 20, 2 seconds. I don't know what most of this means, but this is what I've kind of come to with a lot of experimentation. So if you want to record videos like this is the settings that you go for. And I'll just say straight away, mic is very important. Get something that gives you clear audio. If all you have is your phone, use that. Just make sure you have clear audio, because people don't like unclear audio. I don't like unclear audio, and I'm sure you feel the exact same way. If you watch a video and the audio is bad, you're probably not going to watch it. But those are the settings. When it comes to video editing software, I jump around a lot, just like with keyboards and stuff, but my absolute favorite is this. I jump around a lot when it comes to the software. I'll show you what I'm using right now, and that is DaVinci Resolve Studio. If you're just getting started with video editing, go with this. This is like the best thing. It's hard. You have to know how to use this sort of software, but it's free. The studio version isn't, but this is a free software which can do pretty much everything that you need it to do. And you basically edit them here and then you export them, right? There's a bunch of stuff that you can do on this software. I'm not going to get into the details of that. There's plenty of tutorials online about it, but I'm actually going to show you my favorite editing software. This is Sony Vegas. Well, sorry, it's not Sony Vegas anymore. Right now it's Boris FX Vegas. This is Vegas Pro. This is a software I started with when I was a kid, but it was like Vegas Pro 9 or something. It's the software I grew up watching YouTubers use. It's the simplest editing software there is. It is fantastic for low effort editing. It is really fast when it comes to just cutting, and that's all I want to. That's what I want to focus on the most with my videos, is just cutting well, because when you do that, you have a good video on your hands. If you do that right, you will have a very good video on your hands. Plus, I like to keep things as real as possible. I don't like the over editing. Sometimes I will do it a little bit just to like see what I can do and practice my skills, because I used to be this person who wanted to do the like high edits, but honestly, I don't enjoy watching videos like that, so I'm not gonna make them. But this is absolutely the easiest software. I'm just going to drag in the video for this. As you can see, you get your waveforms, which are easy to move around. You could make them bigger, you can make them smaller, just the usual. And then if you want to cut it, you cut here, you delete this and you move it together. Or you cut here, and you activate this really cool option, you delete it, and it automatically cuts it together. And this is a software you buy once and you have it forever. The good old model. The one we grew up with. You buy something and it's yours and you can use it forever. You know, that sort of stuff is rare to see nowadays, but it's good that they still do that. So I also asked a couple of you guys some questions in case you wanted to know anything extra during this video. So the first question was, hopefully this doesn't get too personal. Ignore if it is, it's not. But thank you for saying that. But as an American, I've always wondered what it's like in Poland. Any details would be cool. So Poland's a pretty cool country, I gotta say. I spent like my early childhood here, and then I moved to the UK for a very, very long time. Pretty much the majority of my life. I pretty much grew up in British culture with Polish culture, because my family always kept it. We made sure that we keep it. We made sure to speak it. Coming back to Poland was very, very, very cool. I never really explored it as a kid. But when I finally came back here, I got to actually check it out. So you got like the top of the Poland, yes, which is like Gdynia, and that's like the seaside of Poland. It's actually very nice. It's quite unique compared to other countries and their seasides. It's like kind of mixed with a forest. It's quite fun. But that's a nice place. Wrocław is a very beautiful country. Wrocław is a very beautiful city. I love it. It's one of my favorite ones. There's plenty of other cities to explore. There's Katowice, there's Warsaw. All of them have their own little flavor to add. It's a very safe country from what I feel. There's a lot of good like food from other countries here too. I've noticed there's a lot of restaurants that open up from people from like Japan, for example. There's very good ramen here. Some of the best ramen I've had was actually here in Poland, especially Katowice. It's quite a lot of places. There's a lot of like Indian food, which is very good, even better than some of the ones I found in the UK. Generally, there's a lot of good places to eat, a lot of good places to go. Pricing can depend. The zloty Some things are quite expensive in this currency. I found that quite a big shock when I came over here, but you kind of get adjusted to it. Apart from that, Polish people like their beer, they like the kielbasa, mayonnaise, the usual. It's a very cool country. I recommend you visit someday if you can, if you get the opportunity to. I like it because Poland's often referred to as like the Texas of Europe, because there's pretty cool gun laws and stuff here. If you sign up with a club, you can actually do quite a bit of shooting if you're into that. So it's a good country. I like it. I'm here and I very much enjoy it. Summers are warm, winters are cold. You get the best of everything living here. What's been your favorite series in Project Zomboid? Any defining moments that stick out to you? Enjoy the content, man. Thank you very much. So in general, I think you gotta say it's always the first one that is amazing, and the first one was probably the one which taught me the most of the basics, right? But I think Walton was the best one for me. I don't know why, but Walton just ended up teaching me a lot, and a lot of stuff happened during the series too. Like we lost the house due to like bugs, but in reality the story goes that his house burnt down. But things in general happened, and it was really sad losing him as a character. So that was one of my favorites. I think Walton really was cool, and I'm looking forward to like going back to trying something like that. The thing with Walton was that we started in like this bleak, very looted, already run down world, you know. It wasn't like a fresh start, so it was a little bit desaturated, a little bit more grim, and I think the atmosphere of that just really worked well, despite it being pretty sad later on. It was nice to like experience the saturation of a fresh start again. But to be honest, I'd love to start another one which is like that close to winter. I'd also love to do a series where it's just winter. You know, there's so many more opportunities to do, but I definitely think Walton was a big one. And Sam was quite fun as well, you know? Everyone had their little thing. Extinction was a very tedious one, but I do end up kind of missing it. You know, Lexi was a tough character. There was a lot of bad things happening because of the Extinction mode, but I would definitely like to visit it again at some point. Maybe I'll be a little bit more ready for it, but I just think like Extinction is just made to not be used as a progressive story run. I think it's meant to be a challenge thing, you know, that you kind of get out there. So surviving for a long time in Extinction, just, I don't think it's fun. And finally, how old were you when you started PC gaming? Love your adventures. Carry on, good sir. Thank you, good sir. Honestly, I can't really remember. I was a console gamer for majority of my life at the beginning. I definitely experienced the PC quite early on due to my uncle. He used to have a PC. I remember him having to go out and get a 512 megabyte graphics card in order to run GTA San Andreas. Mad times. And he played a lot of RuneScape on it. I'd watch often. Sometimes I'd get to cut down trees in the RuneScape, level up that wood cutting for him. But we played a lot of other cool things, like there's this thing called Mario Wars or something like that. That was fun. We played that together. There's a bunch of stuff that we got to check out, but at the same time I was also playing on a PS1 and a SNES, and sometimes on his PS2, which I fell in love with greatly. Come to later find out that when we moved to the UK, my dad purchased me a PS2 of my own, and I actually still have that PS2. I cherish it very greatly. It's what started my entire gaming journey in general, like the addicting side of it. It got me into some really cool game titles. I got to experience so much. I regret it greatly to this day, but I used to have like 4 massive piles of games for that console. I think the PS2 is the best console ever. And then sometime after that I had an Xbox, and after that, so I think around the age of maybe 16, 17, I finally got my PC, and it was one that a really good friend, his dad built it for me out of spare parts that he had. It wasn't powerful, but I got to experience a lot of cool games. I remember playing was it Prison Architect and stuff like that on there. It wasn't very powerful, but it got a couple of games going, you know, like Minecraft. I never played Roblox. I wasn't that type of kid, but I played some other games on there, like old GTA games, and I think I played some RuneScape too. And then after that, I finally saved up and got my first PC. It had like a 6-core AMD processor in there, which was actually decent for the time. I think it had a 6060 or something like that. Or 660, sorry, not 6060, we're not even on that yet. A 660, it was decent. It played like Arma 2, which at the time was a big thing. Played a bunch of other games on there that I'm trying to remember. Like, I tried to play DayZ a lot. I think I played a little bit of 7 Days to Die at some point later on. I never touched Project Zomboid for the longest time. But, you know, the usual Minecraft. That's kind of where it all began. And then after that, I had a big gaming PC. And after that, like I mentioned earlier, I tried to stop my gaming journey, which was a big mistake. But to, I guess, quickly answer your question, after rambling a lot, it was around the ages of 16 to 17, maybe 15. I know around that time I got really obsessed with YouTube. Before that, I loved it as well. I used to make videos of me playing like The Sims 2 on my PSP, and also I used to try and do like stop motion Lego videos, but I used to want to do YouTube for a very long time, and that I started trying and dabbling even more. That was the time I used to watch people like Frankie on PC play DayZ and Arma 2 stuff, which was awesome to watch, and it just reminded me I always wanted to do that sort of stuff. So that bug started very early on. But yeah, thank you for your questions. Hopefully one day I'll do another one of these and I'll answer some more. But for now, this is what you get. Thank you for asking them. Hope you all have a wonderful day. That's pretty much it. I mean, that is the entirety of my setup. This is how videos get produced. I hope that you like this sort of behind-the-scenes glimpse into how I make these things. I wanted to share it. It's been a dream of mine, you know, to do YouTube for a very, very long time. Like an absolute long time. Ever since a kid, but like actually realistically, when I sat down to do it regularly for the past couple of years, 3-4 years, I've been trying to get this to sort of work, and thanks to you guys, it has been working recently. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. I am so happy to be in this position, making a video like this, because as a kid, I dreamed of making the setup video, the draw my life video. I don't know if any of you remember that. That was a cool little thing that YouTubers did. Obviously, they did Q&As and everything. Maybe I'll do that one day as well, but you know, the usual old YouTube stuff. If you can't tell, I'm a fan of old stuff because I think one, nostalgia is a powerful drug, and two, I don't know, it's just when you look at the future with technology and everything, it looks bleak. So I'm happy to be in this time being allowed to enjoy the things that were sometimes, you know, things that were before. So thank you everyone for watching another one of these videos. I know it's not a Project Zomboid video, but I still hope you enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes here. I'll be happy to do more videos like this as time goes on. You know, I'm sure this setup will change over time. It always does. It changes very often for me because I like to change things around. I'll get back to making some Project Zomboid videos, some more survival games videos, some just chill videos, and thank you so much to all of you for 5,000 subscribers. I wish you all the best. I wish you good times with your friends and family. Hopefully you go and say hi to people you haven't said hi to in a while. Sit around with them, chill with them, and most importantly, play some Project Zomboid, because, you know, get your family into Project Zomboid. I wish I could get mine into it. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.